All right, all right, all right. You have tuned into, I'm sorry, you have tuned into Put a Pin in It Conversations with Elisa, and I am Elisa. Hello, 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 Kareem Jackson. How are you? Thank you for joining in. As you come in, please say hello and where you are from so that we can get this show started really well. But before we bring on Queen, I want to ask you a question. Did the spring forward mess with you like it messed with me? Spring forward has some melatonin in it this time, y'all. It took me almost out. I'm glad that it wasn't a work day because I had to readjust and get myself together. What's up, Jermaine? It's my day one. He's here. Y'all, we're about to have a great time. And you know that we're going to talk about a lot of things that happened this weekend and things that are transpiring. So without further ado, I want y'all to Hi, my sis. How are you? Everybody,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, everybody!
Dr. TL.
I'm suited and booted today. I'm calling
Okay.
everything.
You calling all the shots today?
I'm calling everything today. I'm calling.
All right. So we're not even gonna wait. We're gonna get right on into it. All right. So this weekend, the NCAA women's basketball, they had all of their tournaments for each, what you call those things? For each
division?
Region. Yeah. So each division, each region.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I was watching the SEC and the Big Ten because Caitlin Clark is in the Big Ten, and the other two that I've been following, South Carolina and LSU, are in the SEC. But over the weekend, if you have not seen or heard about this, you have been under a rock. But nevertheless, no further ado, I'm going to show you the clip. And after we watch the clip, Queen and I is going to give our commentary on what happened with the LSU and South Carolina. They call it a squabble, brawl, whatever you want to call it, this weekend. All right, so we're gonna pull that up and see what happened. All right, is this one?
When Camila Cardoso shoved LSU's Flaujae Johnson to the floor late in the fourth quarter of yesterday's SEC championship game, Gamecocks guard Mylasia Wiley had stolen the ball from Johnson, who wrapped her up with cold for an intentional foul. Johnson bumped USC's Ashlyn Watkins while heading for a bench, and then the 6'7" Cardoso rushed in and pushed the 5'10" Johnson to the ground. Johnson's brother came onto the floor, briefly made contact with Cardoso before being led away by security. In all, 6 players were ejected, including Cardoso. Let's hear from the coaches, Dawn Staley, Kim Mulkey.
I just want to apologize to the basketball community. When you're playing in championship games like this, in our league, things get heated. No bad intentions. They just their emotions got so far ahead of them that sometimes these things happen. So I want to apologize for us playing a part in that, because that's not who we are and that's not what we're about.
No one wants to see that ugliness. But I can tell you this. I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese. Don't push a kid. You 6'8". Don't push somebody that little. That was uncalled for, in my opinion. Let those 2 girls that were jawing, let them go at it.
Camila Cardoso.
All right. So you go first. What do you think?
Okay. Well, it's so many aspects of this. First of all, there was obviously no preventative officiating. As an official, you have what's called a pregame. Me, I
Mm-hmm.
have what's called a pregame. So I'm going to call my
Mm-hmm.
partners. I'm going to see who I'm assigned to work with and make sure they understand that, hey, we're working this game together tomorrow. Do you have any information we need to discuss? This is the day before. And the day
Mm-hmm.
of, once we hit the locker room, we're going to have a pregame. Okay.
Right.
Maybe it's something that we didn't find out before the game. This is all a part of your job. You're already supposed to know if somebody is heated, if I mean you're supposed to know these things, and you're supposed to say, okay, well, this, any event, because you rotate, any event that I'm the head referee, then this is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do to prevent things and to handle the game. The game is the house is ours. IJ said, this
Mm-hmm.
is my house. No, the house is ours. As an official, the house is our house. And so
Right.
you're supposed to handle it accordingly. There was no preventative officiating at
I
all.
agree.
One.
I agree. Like I said before, I don't mind I don't mind junk talking, but the amount of junk talking that they did during this game, the throughout the entire game, was uncalled for because nobody got a technical foul. Nobody was, told, hey, you need to calm it down or anything on both sides. Both sides were jarring the whole game, the entire game. And I think Kim Mulkey pointed out that in the fourth quarter, they had already almost played a whole entire quarter and only two fouls were called, like in the fourth.
Yeah.
And so, and I want to bring out what Kimberly Jordan said. When it happened, I was watching it live. So I was confused. So I know that those girls on the court were confused because I believe, this is what I believe. If it had been clear that Johnson, when she elbowed Watkins, had it been clear that she had got a technical foul, I don't believe that the other stuff would have happened. Everything was just so unsure. It was like, okay, what's going on? And then by the time Cordosa saw what happened, she just blanked out and pushed the girl, which I don't agree with. But I understand, but I don't agree. You can understand, but don't agree.
First of all, Dawn was not in her box. She was too far up at the table.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to stay in the coach's box.
Now
She
look,
wasn't.
Moki never in her box. She's
We're
always
not
on the
talking
court.
about her right now. We're talking about Dawn.
But why are you gonna
Dawn,
say about Dawn?
Dawn was way up there, right?
Because she
So
was
that
trying to
way
figure
her
out.
team is gonna, I'm getting to a point. Her team,
Okay.
the team is gonna follow the leader, right? Gonna follow the leader. So therefore, she should not have been, had she been way down there where she was supposed to be in her box, the team possibly would have followed her. She was way up there. So that's the body language. It's like, yeah, my coach here, we up here like, what's up? It's an attitude. And it's an attitude that Dawn, just like Monkey, I'm gonna get to her, that Dawn instigated as well. We don't know what was said in the locker rooms. I have heard coaches, right? I have heard coaches, I've heard players. For me, once I heard all that, because I don't do trash talking because it leads to other crap, I would have like, y'all want this game, or I'm gonna call the game, like cut it out, And her Reese pulling the hair, I would have called everything. At that point in time, all the trash talking, it's time to get petty. I'm calling everything. I'm calling 3-second violations.
That's what should have happened.
I'm calling closely guarding. Nothing was called.
Nothing.
If they were going, and then also when the whistle is blown, you have to have a level of respect at all times for the referee. If they blew their whistle, I wasn't there. I don't
That's
know.
the thing. I didn't hear a whistle, and that's why I think Dawn was up there. She was up at the scores table because she was trying to figure out what was going on, like everybody else was. Because when that play happened, when she first of all, she intentionally fouled her to stop the play, which I understand that. And then the other girl was walking back to the bench like, yeah, like they always do. LSU always do that. And number 4, always, every time she make a play, every time she do whatever, like Tim Marshall said, they always talk junk. LSU is known. South Carolina is not known, but LSU is known for talking junk. And so my thing is, if it had been clear that, like, that's what I'm saying. I didn't remember hearing the whistle, and that's how it got out of hand. That's the only reason why I'm saying, if they
Well,
would
a
have
whistle had to been called because the clock stopped. The
right.
clock, the people at the table are not, they're not watching the game. They're watching us. They're watching officials. So the whistle had to have blown. The clock stopped. So when the clock stopped and his hand went up, it stopped. Everybody, Dawn, if you want, you can unction me to come to you. She's still supposed to stay in her box. So all of them was out of order.
Yeah,
All of
they
them.
always out of their box. They were, but
Yeah, they were out of order.
so I just feel like moving forward, they're probably going to be harder on the refs when they call these games, especially in March Madness. I personally don't believe LSU gonna make it far in the tournament because they're so skeleton. They don't have a lot of players. They got like good 8 players. Because everybody else is hurt and they just don't have a deep bench. I don't think they're gonna make it far. But South Carolina, they're probably going to call their games tougher now, which
Well,
they should.
I mean, as far as applying preventative officiating, I don't see where they need to be scrutinizing everything that South Carolina does. I think all across the board as the officials. Now, those ones, I'd be surprised if those little silly ones get a gig in the tournament. I doubt that. But you notice the man, I don't know his position. He was not at the team. He did not want no parts of it. The guy, because it was 2 women and the guy, correct? He was nowhere to be found.
Woman, she left. There was a black female referee. She walked away. Because she was standing in front of Cardoso and she was like, so those 3, they don't need a ref. They don't need to do no more game. Whoever officiated that game, they need to go. Tim Marshall said the NCAAW should want them to play each other again. They want to, but LSU has to play Tennessee. They're not going to beat Tennessee. Tennessee almost beat South Carolina. That was last week. So they're not going to beat Tennessee. So we'll see. I have been wrong, but Angel Reese is hurt right now. She has an ankle sprain. Powell, she should be back, but she had a concussion. That's why she wasn't playing. I don't think LSU is going to make it to the Final Four. But I already got my ticket. So I hope
bench warmers might come in and bust it out. You never know.
No, they're not as deep as South Carolina has 10 players that can be starters. So that's where when they play teams, that's their advantage. That's why they don't even care Cardoso is not playing in the first round because they can. Go ahead.
This next game, I may watch it because I'm going to be interested in seeing how they play, their demeanor, their behavior. Like, what did they learn? And the officials. What officials?
Which team? Which team? South Carolina? South Carolina don't usually play like that. That's what I'm telling you. They usually are not. They don't talk at all on the court. So I'm thinking because they were just retaliating, but usually they don't talk like they don't.
Well, here's the thing: you were 32-0. My numbers speak for itself. I don't need to say anything. Like, I don't understand why they didn't go in. Why did they need to match LSU's energy? I don't understand that. I would never have done that, even as a center. And she, girl, you too big for that. Cardoso, like, why would you even? Why? She was smelling herself. I'm telling you, she was smelling herself. She got a little big-headed and she got humbled. And so now you can't play the first round. That was just. You did not need to put.
Yeah.
And as far as Mucky making that, she just spoke like a black person would, but just in white terms. We all
Please
have
don't
said,
say that about Moki. She is not
we
black.
all have said, no, I said she spoke tried to speak blackish, but in white terms.
Man.
We all have said pick on somebody your own size. We have all used that term, and that's clearly what she was saying, I guess.
But Cordosa
in
did
her
the
work
same
time.
thing. Cordosa did the same thing. Flage's brother did. He saw her push her brother down, her sister down, so he ran on the court. He was dumb to do, but he did. She saw her hit her teammate. So
Right. I would
it
have
doesn't
went out
matter.
there too.
That's what I'm saying.
They better be glad they wasn't in Baltimore. It would have been.
I
real
wouldn't have went
crazy.
out there. You know why I wouldn't have went out there? Because it ain't like they was outside. They were at a tournament. They are not gonna let them girls fight like that. So he just wasted his jump, and now he got charges. He should have thought. I mean, I know his instincts was, let me help my sister, but that was a dumb
If he
move on
has a
his
good
end.
record, it seemed I saw a video with their family. They look like mom and they have a decent family. They was in the house cooking. If he doesn't have a charge, he should get off. Like it was a reflex, and he didn't like shove her hard. He was like what's you doing? Like, and it was when she was turned around. So I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. Like, she shouldn't have pushed her. Like, he shouldn't have come out, but she shouldn't have put. Like, I'm the type of person. Let's deal with the root. Even though it's a game, it was an assault, so she could be charged as well.
Right.
If RJ wanted to take it there, she could be charged. And what if she would have hit her head? Did you see how she fell? Like, if she would have hit her head the wrong way, she might not be here or paralyzed. It was unnecessary.
She pushed her hard now. That's for sure.
Yes, she did. But she's a bully. Pick on somebody else.
Look, Tim Marshall said him jumping on the court was way too much. That was way too much. I could see if they was out in a brawl or something like that, but this was on TV. She said the link not working. Let's see.
So hopefully she won't do it again, because that could have got ugly real bad, real quick.
Yeah. But I think Cordosa learned her lesson.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen again on her end. But I feel like we're gonna watch moving forward, and I want you to watch LSU game, and I want you to watch South Carolina game, and you'll see the difference of their play.
I've always told you I don't do trash talking. All of that is a waste of energy. Even with Angel Reese, like, all of that does not support your ability to run that ball. I told you I could take her. Like, I don't think she can play. I don't think, and she can't. I don't.
Angel Reese is all talk. I still don't understand. There are other players on that team that plays way better than Angel Reese, but she's the mascot of that team. That's what I call her. Because she did some iconic things during the so they just picked her up. That's just how social media is. But in actuality, Angel Reese probably won't even get drafted. that's
I think she will. I think she will, and I'm gonna tell you why I think she will. I think she will for the fact that she's Shaq's mentee. I think he's probably on the strength of pulling strings for her. That's my personal opinion. And also, the whole theory being commercialized.
Yeah. She's marketable because of her let me see something.
It's crazy because watch how I'm just curious to know how they're gonna market Caitlin. Like, what's gonna be her stretch, her level. I'm just so curious. But I think she plays better. Her ability to move the ball is better than Angel's. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about what you wanted to talk about. Let me pull it up.
What?
Let me see. so we can watch the video.
Okay.
Hold on, my guest having a little trouble.
Y'all all right?
Email. Let me see. Let me see. Where's my mail at?
My shirt
Okay,
tight, y'all.
so,
I got to
so
lose some
go
weight.
ahead and let me go ahead. Y'all like and share while I get this together. I'm gonna present this one, and then we're gonna go.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with.
New tonight, the final ruling in the New Jersey high school basketball controversy that made national headlines. An appeals court in the state has denied Manasquan High School's bid to overturn a bad referee call. CBS 2's Lori Bordenero has reaction.
The decision stands. This final shot made by Manasquan at Tuesdays won't count, and Camden will play in Saturday's championship against Newark Arts High School at Rutgers University.
You just rob those kids of a core memory that they're going to miss out on for life.
Manasquan celebrating what they thought was a 47-46 victory, only to have the refs say the shot didn't make it in time for the buzzer. The call igniting controversy.
Clearly, it looked like Manasquan clearly had the shot in one time.
I think Camden should have won, and they did won.
On Friday, the Board of Education saying it will not review the game, stating the commissioner cannot find that the official's decision regarding the basket was anything other than a judgment call. And the NJSIAA rules clearly state that once an official has made a judgment call, no appeals will be honored. The commissioner adding even if the official's decision was not correct. The district appealed the decision, but the state Superior Court's appellate division rejected the motion late Friday.
It is what it is. That's sports.
Referees initially counted the shot, then came back declaring Camden the winner. The New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association apologized to Manasquan, but says the rules are clear. Once officials exit the court, the game is over. An instant replay is not allowed.
All right, so talk about that.
Okay. So basically, Manasquan last at the buzzer. Okay. Whatever position that particular referee, because it doesn't really show, I can't tell what position that referee was playing, and he called no shot.
Right.
When the shot was made at the buzzer. So
the shot should have counted.
It should have counted. He later, once they appealed it and took it to court, he later wrote to the judge and said the judge it was an inadvertent whistle and that the shot should have counted.
Oh, I know they hot.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. The officials run the game. And once they leave, that's it. Your time to declare inadvertent. I've called many of inadvertent whistles. Many. When I'm watching like a closely guard, or if I'm watching a person that's dribbling and they start to pivot and they change their pivot foot, but I see them release the ball. I'm maybe too preoccupied watching the feet and not glancing at the ball and seeing that the ball was like, oh, inadvertent whistle. My bad. Inbound the ball at the spot, right? So that's what they should have did. When they came together, they should have said, hey man, might gonna let this go because this gonna be heavy. Like, you know, you like, look, do you want to go this far with this? Because this could be something real big, and you know. So I would think that, and sometimes this happens, the officials that come together, 9 times out of 10, they might don't like each other.
Gotcha.
And so they're not gonna support each other. They might be going back and forth, or one might like the team, have more influence and like the team, and the other one don't. It could be all kinds of issues going on. But he called it inadvertent whistle and wanted to overturn it, and they said no.
Wow. Y'all. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about Russell Wilson and stuff next week. But thank you,
Yeah.
Queen, for coming on because my guest is in the
Welcome.
back. Blair
Yes.
Monique
Welcome,
is
guest.
here, and
Yes.
I will talk to you later.
Bye, y'all. Peace.
All right. All right, y'all. It is time to have a conversation with Blair Monique Walker. If you don't know who she is, you're going to learn who who she is. I bring guests on that I think are dope. And we just learn more about them. I believe that she is an inspiration. And once you get to hear her story, hopefully she will inspire you to start a business or something that you like. The title of this says create the life you want. All right. So y'all give Blair Monique a hand. She's coming on.
Hey y'all.
Blair
Hey,
Monique.
sis. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. Can you see me? Can everybody see me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
see you. Can you see us?
I can.
Okay.
And thanks for having me. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
you
Thank you
want
for
me to
being
come on
here.
here?
I know. I was like, what you mean? You're so dope. Come on, don't do that.
I
So
just
we
work, let's keep my
you
head
just
down and
work.
just work. That's it.
Well, I need you to hold your head up and talk to us about your work, okay? Because I am very interested in your story. Um, all right, so tell us, where are you from?
I am originally from Rochester, New York. It's a little
Okay.
town like near Canada, because some people are like,
Mhm.
"Where's Rochester?" And like the best thing I can tell you, because they think I'm like from the Bronx, that type of thing. No, no, no. Upstate, born little Rochester, but that's where I'm from, so I rep it well.
Okay. And I met you when you were singing. Well, you still sing, I'm pretty sure. But you
Yeah,
were a praise and worship leader.
I
How
was.
did you huh?
I said I was.
How did you get into graphic design?
Well,
Do you
what
call
were,
it that? Because I know some people call it
yeah,
something else.
yeah, I'm more so a creative director. So I mean, I do
Okay.
everything underneath the kind of the scope of that. And I saw that
Mhm.
over time. I started just as a graphic designer where I literally just I got orders or I would start, I did that stuff for my church.
Mhm.
I was really terrible. I was looking at some of my things like early on. And what was funny, I actually went to Larry when
Uh-huh.
I was releasing my first single, and I was
Okay.
like, I have no money. I need to figure this out. I got to put out a cover. I got to do. I knew what I needed to do, but it was
Mhm.
like overwhelming at that time. And
Right.
so, he kind of walked me through some things. And then I was like, okay, I have the creative eye. I feel like I could do this myself. Let me try
Mhm.
to figure it out. And that was like 2014. And I got an iPad and I just started watching YouTube videos and just kind of like self teaching.
Okay.
And it was so overwhelming. I was like, oh my God, I cannot figure this Photoshop thing out. I don't know what's going on. I was using my finger in apps trying to figure it out. So I was like, God, just you know what I need. Just help me with this. And I feel
Mhm.
like it would be another stream of income for me. I was a makeup artist at Von Mar at the time, like barely making
Okay.
$300 a week. I loved doing makeup, but I just didn't like dealing with people like that, touching
Mhm.
them all day, that type of thing. And so I was just like, I need you to make this work. I literally was like, I
Okay.
just need you to breathe on it. I don't, whatever capacity you want me to do it, just help me. And so I started designing for my church. Like I said, those designs were pretty terrible. But I just kept trying. I literally just kept trying, like, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better. And so that's what I did. And so then I started venturing it, like people, I started doing logos and people were saying, oh my God, can I get this? I was
Mhm.
selling stuff for like $50, whatever, just to get my name out there.
Right.
Um, and so fast forward, I have been afforded some pretty amazing opportunities. I work in Hollywood and all types of celebrities. And then I still have, my clients that started with me, so from the
Right.
beginning. So it has been a long journey. And people think, oh, she just popped up out of nowhere. No, I've been doing this for a long time. I knew what I needed and I
Mhm.
knew I was gonna have to be the one to do it at the time because my budgets were so low and that, but I
Mhm.
wanted to present myself like as a package to people because I was on the road traveling at the time, and it was like I can't just be out here with no website and no resumes and no, you know what I mean? So it was very important to me to look professional, even if I was just learning how to do that. And it just
Right.
grew. It just grew from there.
Wow. So it was a trial and error thing. And you said you've been in it. And so I'm learning that people that we think just came out on the scene, they've always been on the scene. It's just that one opportunity or two that brings them out to the forefront. But you be like, I've been doing this. What are you talking about?
True.
I've been doing this.
Yes.
And
People
so
thought people
go
thought like
ahead.
when I did when they started seeing my bigger accounts like Cat
Mhm.
Williams or Tyler Perry or
Mhm.
whatever I was doing at the time, like, oh, how did she get that? She just popped up. No, I've been doing this since 2014, trying to get myself out there. And then I did something for All the Queen's Men, and it was just like, how did you get that? And it's literally God will always put me in positions to just be seen. And I knew how to
Mhm.
network. If I know how to do nothing else, I knew how to talk to people.
Right.
So it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. There were several accounts that I like for All the Queen's Men, how I got that account with Christian Keys. I literally um somebody said you should make a motion for his birthday. And I was like, I don't know him. And I just did it. I literally did it and sent it. Boom, I got the account. So
Wow.
it's some things have happened like that and others have taken a long time. And
Mhm.
now it's really cool because I'm in a position now to where people they come and look for me. Whereas before I was trying to
Wow.
bang down the door, trying to figure out how to get in. Even I know you didn't ask this yet, but as an artist, I
Mhm.
was banging down doors, trying to get in rooms, trying to figure it all out, and nobody would let me in. I
Wow.
was known. People said I was popular. I had some viral singing videos, stuff like that, but
Mhm.
nothing like what I experience now. And I mostly do it from the comfort of my home. And I think
Wow.
that is really really cool.
That
I
is so
travel
cool.
some, but yeah, it's just very very cool. It's very cool.
Wow. So, because this is the same testimony that Reed has, that he thought that he was going to get known one way, but it
Yep,
happened another way.
that's
So,
it.
if you all are listening and you are trying to start something, just know don't keep your closed on one thing. Have those different avenues and just try.
Absolutely.
Blair
Just try.
said she self-taught herself. Like what? That is
Yep.
you had after this, y'all gotta go see her stuff because she's amazing. She is amazing. Okay, so what are your accolades? Like tell us your awards that you've won so far.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is really amazing. So, I'm a Dove nominated producer. We have
Uh-huh.
stellar nominations. I have the biggest thing, well, I don't know if it's the biggest thing I've done to date, but I designed the cover for Adam Blackstone and Jasmine Sullivan, the Grammy
Mhm.
nominated song Round Midnight. That was
Mhm.
for my work to be seen on that level. Sometimes it scares me because I'm like,
Mhm.
ooh, when is this gonna be taken away from me? Like, I don't some days know how I got there. And it's literally, I just never stopped. I just kept going. And then my work has been seen on BET, Food Network, Disney
Mhm.
Channel, all of these things. And people they ask me, how does that make me feel?
Yep.
I'm never like, child, I knew that, that no.
Right.
Because I mean, and it's really not fake humility. It is really like at any moment, because you see how people switch up on you. You see
Right.
how
Right.
you're like at any moment this could all just go away. So that's why I
Wow.
say I keep my head down and I just work because and it was crazy through we went through, of course, because I work in Hollywood so much. We going through the strike. And
Mhm.
that was a moment that made me remember, you better chill because
Right.
nobody's getting paid right now.
Wow.
My work is being seen all over TV, but I don't have a check.
Wow.
So
So the strike affected you.
oh, it affects everybody. If you're not a part of the union, a lot of times, I say no to union jobs mostly. Maybe one day that'll change because I work with so many different people. If I join
Mhm.
the union, I have to wait for them to send me jobs. And
Oh.
I don't want that. So like if I work for Beyonce, I can't work for Cedric the Entertainer, or I can't,
Mhm.
Cedric's one of my clients. But like it's moments like that where I don't want to just be locked into one thing. I want to make sure that I'm able to service anybody I want to service. I can say yes to anybody. But that also put me in a bad position because when
Right.
those people weren't getting paid for the things that they needed me to do, I wasn't getting paid either.
Wow.
So it was just kind of like, okay, so you really have to set yourself up for
Right.
whatever it is that you're trying to do so you can make sure you still get that bag because it is scary out here.
Right.
People would see
Right.
my name in credits or something like that and be like, "Oh, she's good," or let me borrow $20. It's like, yeah, okay. you know you don't know what's going on right now, so but
Right.
I really stay low when it comes to that because literally somebody today can be like, yeah, we don't want you on this account anymore, and it happens all the time.
Wow.
So I try to create several streams, um but I just always remember where I came from because yeah, it can get, you have low times, even as successful as I have been, you have low times, so
That's a
you
good
got,
point.
yeah,
As successful as you get, you still have low times.
yeah.
So you have to budget accordingly.
And I didn't
You
always
got to
do that
budget.
either.
Ooh.
You get a lot of money sometimes, you just, man, I could never spend like this before, let me go get this. No, baby, I ain't going to get this and this. Okay.
And you be
We gonna
dressed to the
wait.
nines too. You be
Oh, thank
dressed,
you.
honey.
Thank
You
you.
do, and you look amazing. By the way,
Thank
everybody, if
you.
you enjoying this conversation, I need you to put a one in the chat. I am enjoying it. I know I am.
Oh.
So your son went viral, Mr. Noah, right? He
Uh-huh.
is so adorable. I
Thank
follow
you.
you, and he is smart too. That's a smart little boy.
Thank you. He
So
is.
when when that happened, how did he was like, "Mommy, I'm famous now," because
Nope.
he's smart.
He's so smart. He has no idea what that concept is. And I think that's super good
Yeah,
because it just keeps him having fun,
yeah,
being a kid. And,
yeah.
I'm sure he hears, he's doing interviews, he's doing all these other things. Funny story. I mean, okay, so he went viral a couple times actually, but the first time,
Hmm.
he was in the cabinet.
Right,
And he went all over the place. I mean, he's on Oprah and people
right,
like Oprah's posting about him, Wendy Williams, all these people, and he's has no idea what's going on. He's just having fun in his little cabinet, right?
right.
2 years later, we get called to Tamron Hall. I mean, 2 years later, after all of that had
Mhm.
happened, and the video had got to like 10 million views or something like that, and it's been on
Wow.
several. It was on the Shade Room. It was
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
Um, and so I said, Noah, everybody knows you. Like, how does that make you feel? He was like, I don't know them. You know, like, and so just recently, he put out an album. He has an EP out called Lots of
Okay.
Love. And so the album literally, because people just love him so much, they started getting the album and it got him on the iTunes charts. He was number 4 the entire weekend on the iTunes as a 5-year-old, right? And
Right.
he's sitting right in between Bluey and Disney Channel because they have some records out. And I
Yeah.
showed him, he didn't care nothing about the fact that he was there. He said, "Oh my God, I get to be near Bluey." And I was like, "Nogi, we want to beat Bluey." But he was
Yeah,
like,
right.
"It's okay, Mom." He was just happy to be in this
Right.
company. He was just happy for that. And he teaches me every
I was about
single
to
day. And I
say.
think, yeah,
Mhm.
he teaches me every day. And I think that's where a lot of the humility really comes from because it's like
Mhm.
he does not believe his own hype. He just does what he does. Like when we go in the studio to record, he goes in there, he just sings, he just has the time of his life. And I'm like, man, if I would have been like him when I
Mhm.
wanted certain dreams to really be fulfilled, they probably would have worked out a little bit better because my focus was on the wrong thing. And
Right.
he's just doing what he loves. And that's
Right.
it. If something good comes from it, amazing, but he's not focused on the win. He's just like, no, we all want to win. But
Right.
I think what makes him so good at what he does is that he really just does it from a pure place, and he just wants people to be happy like him. And
Right.
that's it, and I'm just learning that. I think everybody, even my other kids, like, we've all been viral at some point for something. Even,
Mm-hmm.
you know what,
Mm-hmm.
just like to speak to what you said, um, I put up a video of me and my grandfather. Normal, just of me singing
Love
to him
them.
like I always do, right?
Right.
Not thinking
Right.
anything is gonna come of that. We're talking millions and millions of views. And I'm releasing gospel music the whole time, and I'm begging people to listen to it. And all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden I dropped this jazz song and it's going viral. And I'm thinking, that's
Yeah.
what y'all want? Are you kidding me? So when you talked about pivot, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the queen of the pivot, because
Right.
how is it that I was really like, oh, I know God wants me to do this, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he breathes on something else that's totally
Right.
random and has nothing to do with what I thought I was going to be doing. It taught me a very valuable lesson, that you have to wait to be led into whatever your purpose is. Sometimes it doesn't look like what you think you want. And I mean, it led me to the blue note. I Are you kidding me? Like, where how I'm not getting to the blue note singing gospel music. It's
Right.
a jazz club, right?
Right.
Or
Right.
performing with Adam Blackstone, or doing all of these things. I literally just fell in a moment. Oh, I saw that comment, and went away. But um it blew my mind, because I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all, and then they're like, we want a full album of nothing but jazz. And I was like, I'm a gospel singer. And they're like, no, but we want you to sing jazz. I'm like, okay. you know,
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
that comment was from Kimberly Jordan. She said, "I love you singing. This is love to your grandpa."
Oh,
So
thank you so
there are
much. That's
people
what I was
on here
talking
that
about.
want we watch you. Like
Oh,
it's wonderful to see, and you do your little personalities of the Chinese lady. And I just love your personality. I love who you are.
oh,
I know that who you are now, you had to come through a lot of hard things.
yeah.
Probably people along the way that were with you, probably not with you now. That's just life.
I'm a
And
loner right
you're a
now.
loner.
I'm a loner. I use the phrase, I know somebody else coined it, but I'm a popular loner. That's
Okay.
that's what it is. Everybody thinks I have a slew of friends, and I really don't. I really, really
Wow.
don't.
Neither
I
do
don't.
I. That's
Yeah.
great. Cool.
Because people, let me
It's
tell you
better
why,
that
because
way.
people are crazy. That's why. I don't know.
They're crazy.
I'm sick. They are crazy, you know that, and they will lie on you and leave you. That's it.
Yo, that's one of her characters. This is so funny. I love your personality so much.
Thank you.
So
Love
you
you.
say you are a creative director.
Yes.
So that means you do everything under the sun when it comes to. So you make those what you call them things?
Motion
The
graphics.
motion graphics.
Yeah.
You
The
make
flyers, the logos,
man.
all of that
So
stuff.
how did you come up? I know your pricing is not. Do you have the same pricing for everybody, or you have a set, or
Yes.
you have a
Here's
okay?
what's funny. People think that I count people's pockets. Now, what'll happen a lot of times with celebrities? I'm
They'll
on
tip
NDA
you,
with a lot of these icons, so I'm not gonna say too much. But
right? Don't say their name.
yeah, they'll come to me and say, here's my marketing, branding and marketing budget. And they're not even looking at my prices. And so we'll come up with whatever their budget is. That's what we're doing, because they came to the table with, I know I need ABC, boom, boom, boom.
Mm,
And they just go from there. But when it comes down to what I charge people, my pricing is public. And
okay.
everybody told me, don't do that, because you got to go by the client. No. When you start counting people's pockets, that's when you lose your blessing. And God has
Right.
afforded me, and I'm not saying that has to be everybody's story, but for me, if I
Mm-hmm.
charge a regular person $200 for a flyer, that's how much the flyer costs, right? If Beyonce comes to me, or whoever, just say, I need a flyer, and they want to know the price is boom, boom, boom. Now, I've actually had celebrities tell me, That's too low. I'm gonna pay this because I need to feel like I just did something. You'd be surprised how many people
Thank
say
you.
that.
Pause. Say that again. Because
Yes.
I'm not telling you to change your price, but
Yes.
celebrities told you that's too low. I need to
Yeah.
pay you what I
What
feel
you're
like you
worth.
need to be paid.
Yes. And it happens like that. But I keep my pricing.
Wait, because people think I don't understand. Pay me what I'm worth.
Pay me is what I'm saying. But I keep my pricing lower. I'm gonna now. Some people say I'm extremely expensive. Now, so it's all about your
$200 is not
mentality.
expensive.
It's not, but they feel like that, right? So, what I do is I keep my pricing at a certain level because I know that there are people who were like me when I started this business and couldn't afford that. So, I keep it like that, and because of all the accounts I have over 300 clients, right?
Whew.
So, that being said, and there may be more. I'm just thinking right now that's the last time I checked, right? So, um I keep it like that because I know there are people that still want the experience. And
Mhm.
sometimes those people are easier to work with than somebody that pays more money. So
Right.
at the end of the day, I am giving them this option to have access to me. And at whatever tier or whatever they think that that's worth, that's where we go from there. But, I'm afforded a lot of opportunities. So I'm able to do that. I don't have to charge $500 for a flyer because to me, that's ridiculous. I'm not paying that. Right. But it's what you think you're worth. So if I come to the table and I say I need a whole package of items, I need a website, I need this, my budget is 10 grand, right?
Mhm.
And you know that you can invest in that and you know you're going to get the quality because I'm not going to give anybody trash, right?
Right.
Then I'll take
Right.
the $10,000 because at the end of the day, I'm also going to give you everything within that budget that I know is going to make sense for that number.
Right.
And it's just different conversations all the time. But yes, pay me my worth. I don't do $50 logos anymore. Don't look for one unless I decide, like I did, I did a sale. I've been doing these little sales, pop-up sales, because people say, I can't afford you. I really, really want a BMO experience. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. So when I do a 1-day sale, come make sure you got your notifications on, make sure you come see because that's the moment where you can take part. Now don't come back to me
Mhm.
and say you did a sale 7 days ago, I have my money now, my $50. I'm gonna say I'm sorry, we ain't gonna do it.
And so in those
So
times, wow, 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 this is great. So you have a lot of clients. So what does a day look like for you? Like, are you always working, or do you have time set a time? Time set a time. I can't talk.
set aside.
Time set aside
No,
for you to work, or you just work around. How does that look for you?
I don't know if you noticed, I'm because you said you follow me, I'm always up
You be up.
now.
You be up
This
at
is
night.
not, I do not advise this the way I live because
Okay.
it's actually
Okay.
not healthy. Like today, I got up every day. I'm literally working around the clock. Like people think,
Mhm.
oh, she outsources to a staff. I have a staff, but guess what? I'm literally sitting here. It just went off the screen. I'm doing this even while I'm in an interview. I was trying to put a little bit of makeup on my face so I didn't look like trash to sit here with you because you're so beautiful.
Oh my
And I was just
God.
like, oh my God, I don't worked up until 6:15. Now I need to do
Mhm.
something to myself, So
Right.
like I'm a mom too, So this
Yes.
morning I get up and I gotta schedule doctor's appointments. I gotta do dentists. I gotta do this. I have to cook, which is what I was doing. I cook almost every day, right? Whenever
Wow.
I'm home, if I'm not traveling, I'm cooking. So I'm doing that. I'm going back and forth. I'm talking to clients. I'm doing consultations. I'm designing. I'm doing all of these things. And it's literally around the clock. Now, that will make you sick. It actually caused me to develop an ulcer, which is why I ended up losing all of this weight. The
Mm.
stress, and my doctor kept telling me, you gonna have to go to sleep. And I'm
Mm.
like, if I feel like a lot of times if I go to sleep, I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna miss a message. I'm gonna miss. I have this. I gotta be successful, um,
Mm.
because of how I was raised. You know,
Yeah.
um, or because they told me I couldn't or wouldn't be. For such
Mhm.
a long time, I thought I was ugly, not good enough, people talking down to me. So it was, I have to make it. Because if I
Mhm.
don't, they're right. And I
Right.
think that started driving me, and it almost drove me insane because it was like,
Wow.
if I take time for myself, if I go on a vacation, or if I go, I would have days where I would literally black out while I was driving because I hadn't
Wow.
slept in 3 days. I got
Wow.
I got into a car accident with my children. I don't listen, this is why I tell you, I don't want to like get super serious on this interview,
No,
but
I want you to talk. We
yeah, but
listening.
I was up and I was just working, and my husband at the time actually said, "I'm tired. I need you to," or he said, "I'm tired," and I said, "Okay, I'll drive." I
Mhm.
knew that I probably shouldn't have been driving, but I felt like we got to get to where we're going, and he's tired. Maybe I can just push through. We only got 30 more miles or whatever. I get in the
Mhm.
car, in the driver's seat, and we're going. I don't even know what happened to me. I didn't feel sleepy. I just knew I had been up for a long time. I fall asleep at the wheel. We hit a pole. The
Oh my
car
God.
flips. We had an SUV at the time, which saved our lives, but the car flipped over 3 times. My two
Oh my
children
God.
at the time, Noah wasn't born yet. Two children, had them in the back seat. There was glass in my daughter's diaper, but she wasn't cut. I still to this day don't understand how that happened or how we survived, because I've posted the picture and people are like, "How did you make it out?" The engine came out of the car. The whole car was destroyed. They said if his seat would have been up, he would have been decapitated because the whole windshield just came in like that. And so I think of moments like that, and that really should say, "Hey, you need like 2 naps a day,
Yeah.
and you need to sleep at more than 4 hours." I don't get much at
Mhm.
night, but it's things like that that can happen to you when you let your career run you.
Mm.
So I'm trying to take moments now where I'm trying to take moments now where I just take a little time for myself, but it doesn't happen often, right? And
Okay.
so I just posted this the other day. I said, today I realized I was still looking for an apology from somebody that's in the ground.
Mm.
And everybody was like, what? Because they didn't, I didn't say who I was talking about. But since we're
Right.
here, um, I have always wanted to, not yet, I've always wanted to prove my father wrong. I always wanted to prove
Mm.
him wrong because I was never good enough for him, literally.
Mhm.
And so the majority of my success happened after he died.
After you passed, yeah. Mm.
And I was so mad. And I had this, I didn't want him to pass away, obviously.
Right.
Even though we didn't have a good relationship, but I also was angry because I
Mhm.
felt like, number one, you got the easy way out,
Right.
and you never got to see me prove you wrong. And that's another thing that shouldn't drive you. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, do it for yourself. And in
Right.
therapy now, that's what I'm learning, that when you do it for other people, your passion turns into anger, because if you
Mm.
never get the satisfaction of proving them wrong, you'll lose the passion that you have for actually doing what you set out to do. I don't ever want to
Mm.
stop doing this. I don't ever want um to stop being creative. Even with
Right.
music, I don't ever want to totally walk away from that either. But when I saw that I was using those things as a tool to make sure I stuck it to
Mhm.
my father, that's not the way you live.
Wow,
Is not the way
Lord.
you live. So
Blair, you said a mouthful. Yes.
yeah,
That's a mouthful. Wow. Thank
it's
you for
rough.
sharing that. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing it. Because
I
I'm
knew
telling you,
coming
I know
here, I knew coming here you was gonna let me just.
what you mean.
No,
What
I'm
I
saying I
did.
knew I knew you were this way, where you tell it like it is and you want the truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of times um that's why I said what we're gonna be talking about, because you never know what people really want to know about you. It could just
Right.
be, what do you do for a living? And when I
All
have
that.
moments to share, if I'm courageous enough in those moments to actually share things, then that's when I really want to share my true story. And going back to losing all of that weight, I was so insecure. Like people would tell me all the, even you're so beautiful. You're this, you're that.
Yeah.
I was 290 pounds. Like, and I didn't even realize it until I went to the doctor. Like, oh, I'm big. I need to, something needs to shift with this. And I was on steroids and all kind of stuff. And they said, you have an ulcer. I had acid reflux really bad. They said, we got to take your gallbladder. We have to take this ulcer out. And then when they went in, I had a GI scope done. They saw that the acid from the ulcer had spilled over into my stomach. And they ended up having to take 30% of my stomach away too. So the weight just went, I mean, over 120 pounds. It just fell off of me. And so I even had to deal with things like that. Even if I was like, so what if y'all, whatever kind of surgery y'all think it is, why y'all just can't be happy
Right.
for, shush.
Right.
So it was, they didn't know the story. They didn't know all of these things, whatever.
Right.
And I felt better. And then I
Right.
started to look at myself like, wait, I think I'm pretty now. And it wasn't just about the way it was. I started to see myself for who I really was because I no
Right.
longer heard the negative voices.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's already gone out of your life, the first thing you need to do is kill their voice.
Yes.
Totally get rid of it.
Yes.
And I started looking at myself in the mirror and it was like, your voice and God's voice, that's what matters. So speak
Wow.
positive things to yourself. And I have to do it still as almost 38 years old. I have to
Right.
speak affirmations to me to make sure that I have a good day.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
serious.
Affirmations work. People don't know that, but it do.
They
It
do.
works.
They do.
Wow.
They do.
I knew see, I knew you was dope and I knew, but I didn't see, I like bringing people on so we can learn more about you. And I know your story is going to help someone when they go back and watch this replay because
Hope so.
you have to do it for yourself. And
That's
I
right.
know there are people out there, they're like, if I can just prove them wrong.
Yes.
But that's the wrong avenue. Cause like
It is.
what Blair said, what if they pass away? Then what is going to drive you? So you have to make sure that you're doing it for yourself. I was having a conversation with someone and they was like, well, it seemed like everything just go well for you. What is your secret? I said, I have a great relationship with myself. And
That
then
is good.
everything else falls in line. And I don't let anybody come in between the relationship I have with myself. If you're trying to do that, then you're not supposed to be in my circle.
I love
You
it.
gotta go.
I
So
love
yeah, we got Jermaine, so I have to do it for myself. So now Blair is a millionaire and she she
Amen.
has taken off and we see the fruit of your labor. But I like the way that you came up to where you are. I know
Wow.
there are plenty stories that you can tell, but we ain't trying to get into all of that because we don't want people to be all up in your business. But I know there's plenty of that you can tell from just being a praise and worship leader alone. So, and then just changing it and doing, I mean, just creating the life you want. That's the name of this. That's the name of this segment, creating the life you want.
Yeah.
And
I was
I'm just
doing that for
amazed.
them.
Say what now?
I was doing that for them. I
You
started
didn't
out
want to
with the
do it?
I love God. So I'm gonna say, and a lot of times here's what happens. When people
Okay.
love God and they know how to sing or play, they
Yeah.
automatically feel like that's supposed to be their position.
Yeah.
But I was bleeding
They,
on people every week and I just didn't want to do that anymore. And it's not to say I'll never do that again. I don't know what the future may hold, but it wasn't fun for me anymore.
right.
And it
Right.
wasn't, I felt it was work. It was, man, I don't feel like going to rehearsal day. I don't feel like that. And I just didn't, I had no quality of life there because you will
Mm,
get beat down in church a lot. I don't want to cry church hurt because,
right.
it's not church hurt, it's people hurt and
Right. Right.
whatever. And I'm staying away from a lot of those conversations. But for me, I just didn't like the way I was handled, and I made a decision
Mhm.
to say I'm not gonna stay in this and keep complaining about it. I'm just gonna get out.
Right.
Now,
Right.
whether God was mad at me about that or not, that's between me and him. But I had to pivot. I had to pivot. I just had to. And even
Yes.
now, I don't raise my children. I raise my children to make sure that they make decisions that are going to work for them.
Right.
Meaning, like my son came to me, my son's about to graduate high school, and he said, Mom, I don't want to waste you and daddy's money. College is not for me. He said, I
Mhm.
barely wanted to finish high school. Now you gonna graduate, all right, and you gonna graduate with good grades. But I'm not about to force you to go to college because I went to college and I know how that felt and I didn't like it.
Right.
You
I'm an
know, so
advocate for that because my
yes,
oldest my oldest daughter, she's in cosmetology school. She don't like school, so why
see,
am I going to send? So she getting a trade.
there
If
you
you're not going
go.
to school, I feel like you need to get a trade, and then
There
you
you
just get
go.
make money and go on about your business.
That's
I'm not
right.
making you go to college. I don't
That's right.
believe, and I know that because I have a master's degree that I've never used.
See,
Everything that I do, everything that I do, and I'm getting my doctorate, I'm going to use, but everything that I do has nothing to do with the degree that I have. And
ain't that
so,
something?
I mean, it's just, and it's just stuff that's on the side. I mean, it is in counseling, but the actual family and therapy counseling, I don't do that. I do more of life coaching. So it's
And I
not
love
even
it.
in that. You know what I'm saying?
See,
So I just feel like college sometimes we push that when we know if you know your child don't like school, don't send them to college. That don't
don't
make
please, please don't.
sense. It don't
They're
make
gonna save
sense
me some
at
money.
all.
Listen, don't worry about it. And all of them, they produce, they write, they sing. My son is
See?
about to drop music. You know, of course I'm gonna support that. And because I know
Yeah.
how to market him, I'm gonna market the hell out of it. You know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
like, I'm not forcing you to go to college. Please save my money. I will put that money into something else and it's going to be amazing. You know, people have to be
Yeah.
real. A lot of times we this American dream and we want to you know, you get married, you buy a home, you have children, the children
Mm.
grow up and go to college and make you proud. That's not how it goes.
No,
It
it's
is
not
not
how it
how it goes.
goes.
I went through hell. I mean, literal hell. I was poor for so long. Listen, that's why I appreciate everything. Because when I
Uh-oh.
tell you, can you see me again?
I can see you
I
now.
should have put it on
Go
Do Not
ahead.
Disturb.
I
Can you
see
hear
you.
me?
Uh-huh. You probably can't hear or see me, but I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
and
me?
see you. Yes, I can.
I can't hear you now. Oh
I
man.
know because you went out.
Let's see. I wonder what happened.
Okay. Everybody, please, please, please give my guest a hand. I am so glad that, but she's probably going to come back. Blair Monique stopped by and to put a pin in it and gave us a conversation that was rich in creating the life you want. If you enjoyed this conversation, she's back now.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know that was gonna happen. If somebody called, I should have had a Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Um,
I was
yeah.
ready. But my thing is, you're right. You should not send kids to school that just don't want to go to school. I mean, it's just gonna torture them and take money out your pocket.
That's it.
So, but I am I wrote down some things you said, do it for yourself. Then you talked about pivoting from one thing to the next. Um, and I just love it. I love y'all need to go follow Blair. She's hilarious. Her grandfather is hilarious. He is so funny and he is
He is.
handsome. So
And he
I'm just
doesn't
saying
try. He doesn't, he's
he
not
is
trying to be
so
funny.
funny. He is so funny. But I'm glad that you stopped by. Hopefully that we can have another conversation at another time. But I'm going to go ahead and ask if there's anything that you want to say. Let the people know where they can find you at least.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much for having me. This was very, very cool. You know, I've always loved you. I think you're beautiful, amazing,
Thank
and super
you.
funny. Um, But yeah, so I'm Blair Monique on everything. I make it super easy for everybody to find me. If you want to check out my website, it's just the bmoexperience.org. Um, And I mean, yes, just connected. Got some amazing things coming up. I can't wait until these Stellar Award nominations drop. Um, and I'm just very excited. And you guys will start to see me in different capacities the rest of this year. I also am an A&R at a record label. A lot of people don't know that, but I also work at Anderson Music Group. We have the
Oh,
Williams
wow.
Singers. Yeah, we have the Williams Singers. We
Yeah.
have Adam Blackstone. We have Lawrence Flowers and Intercession, Melanie Daniels. Like I mean, the list goes on with
Blair,
our people.
you is
I signed the Williams Singers.
see, that's
And
why you
it's
don't
amazing.
be saying a lot on social media because them people that got a lot to lose, I don't have nothing to lose. I say whatever I feel.
I know it. I know it. It makes me mad. I'm gonna be honest. It makes me mad sometimes because sometimes I really want to speak on this,
I want to
but
like what Lisa said, but I can't.
I can't. See, and people, now that you know why I say these things,
Yeah,
and it's not really directed at one person when I say it. It's
I know.
literally,
I know.
man, I wish I could actually chime in on this,
They,
but because of
they
what I
watch.
do, it's not just
You
me.
can't.
It's I can't. I represent these
Right.
artists. And I'm literally at the core of it. So being an A&R, I'm an artist liaison. So that means
Yes.
I'm constantly in between the artist, the label, the this, the that, and I sign people. So I go out and I
Mm,
search for who we need, and then I sign them. Like I think I want to say the Williams Singers might have been my first signing, and
mm.
I love the Williams Singers. I'm on their record and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I could really do this. And I introduced them to Jonathan Anderson, who's the president, and I kind of just set that up. And I got some new people that are coming on, so we're gonna be seeing some amazing things. But even in that, going back to me pivoting, and I know we got to go. But
Mm-hmm.
going back to me pivoting, I was an artist needing somebody like me, and I
Right.
didn't have me. And now I'm signing people in what I wanted to do back then. So
That's amazing.
you have to be able to accept that too. You know that it might not be your time, or there's more that you need to learn. But because I was better utilized as an A&R, now
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, well, I know exactly, because I know what it's like to want to be an artist, and I know the business side and how to do these things. So that was a major pivot for me. People ask me that all the time. How do you sign artists and you wanted to be signed for so long? I'm like, I know exactly how to do it. I know what they want. I know what they're looking for. And I
Right.
know from a business standpoint, sitting on the other side of the table. Come here, honey. I know from sitting on the other side of the table, um, from a business aspect, how to make things happen,
Right.
branding, marketing, all those other things,
Mm-hmm.
so it's, the people that don't know that, it's like, oh, wait, you do that too. And then they start sending me a bunch of their music. Um, but, it's a rewarding job because I get to
Yeah.
see people's dreams come true,
Right.
so I
That's
love
good.
it. I love it. Want to come say hi? Noah's here.
Is that Noah?
Hurry up, hurry up. Come on. You say hi. Hi.
Hi, hi, Noah. Everybody give Noah a hand. He's like, who's that?
He just woke
Thank you
up from a
for saying
nap, so
hi. Uh-oh.
love you. Love you. Okay. But yeah, see, that's being
Oh,
a mom. That's
yeah.
just me being a mom. Because he was sitting here, he was gonna say something, so I was like, I might as well just bring him on because he's gonna start talking. Yeah. So I appreciate you so much, sis. I love
No
you,
problem.
and
Thank you, Blair. I
you're the
love you
best.
too.
I love this
And
show
you,
too. Congratulations on
hey,
everything, and
thank you.
keep rocking.
And I hope to, I'll be watching you at the Stella Awards. I just said that way.
I'm
And on
working
that
more.
note, huh? What you say?
I'm working internally this year as well, so we'll see what happens.
So on that note, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We want to thank our guests for coming on. I love Blair Monique. I think she's just a dope person. Join us again next week. This Thursday is my birthday, y'all, and I am celebrating my 45th birthday. And guess where I'm gonna be? At the school. But this weekend, I'm probably gonna do something. So that means next week, oh, I have Jonathan Slocum's fiance next week, but the week after that, in honor of my birthday, we're probably going to have game night. Put a pin in it. We always do game night with each other, and it's so fun. So make sure you invite someone so you can win prizes and so that we can get to know each other better. We are a community over here that loves to laugh, and we love to get to know our guests. So March Madness starts next week as well. So we're hoping to see if South Carolina is going to make it to the end. I already know LSU is not. So we ain't even gonna play those games. But anyway, I love y'all, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Oh my God! Happy birthday, Jermaine! See, that's why we get along so well. You a Pisces, I'm a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? Pisces get along. We swim the stream, just keep swimming. We ain't Dories though. We ain't dumb, but we just swim through life flawlessly. That's what we do. So yeah, my birthday is the 14th. I love this time of the year. I love celebrating birthdays, but this time I'm probably gonna be working and just whatever. All right. So y'all have a blessed night, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.